Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Button Mashers, the podcast where we talk about video games and the news and see what we like and what we don't. I'm Chris.
I'm Connor.
And you can find the podcast on iTunes. Hopefully we've been approved by now. You can also find it on SoundCloud. Just look for Button Mashers, or on YouTube now with this video.
Oh, that explains a lot.
So if you're watching on YouTube, this is episode 2. You won't see episode 1 because we didn't have video yet. We're figuring it out. As you can see, this is just a white wall. We're going to be improving as we go along.
Do I blend into the wall?
I mean, kind of. Blending
into the wall.
Maybe on YouTube we just look like floating shirts that speak.
Woo! It's a ghost.
Yeah. So this week we're gonna talk about E3 because it just happened.
Yeah.
Nintendo
had their press conference today, or their Nintendo Spotlight, as they call it.
Yeah,
Nobody called it a press conference this week, did they?
I don't think anybody did. We just finished watching that today. It's Tuesday as of time of recording, probably a little bit later once this is posted and you're watching it. So if new information comes out post-Tuesday, it's not out yet, so...
We'll probably talk about that next week when we correct stuff.
Save your comments,
because, we're idiots.
Or let us know peacefully.
Please, right. we prefer peace.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through each press conference, kind of go through everything. We're not gonna, talk in detail about everything because that would
be a 4-hour show, about. And we don't have that kind of time, folks. Sorry.
Yeah. Let's get through this because we have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yes, we do.
So the first lackluster press conference was EA.
Not just getting straight into it, just totally lackluster.
Yeah. EA has a tough situation, which I sort of respect, because they have such a diverse player base that they sort of need to sprinkle in a little bit of everything for everyone. So then,
I would agree with that.
Most of its fans are gonna be sort of like lackluster about most of the conference because only a little section is catered to them.
Yeah, I would agree with most of that if they didn't seem like this year they were doubling down on sports. It was all sports at the EA press conference. That's all it was.
I mean, like, a lot of what they did was like, so which game makes the most money? Let's feature that.
Is it FIFA? Is it Madden?
Yeah.
Is it Battlefront? Oh, look, people got excited about that. Let's keep showing that. Oh, no, we're not going to do that.
So, yeah, one of the announcements that was shown was Star Wars Battlefront 2, which some people have been calling Star Wars Battlefront 1.5.
Yeah, basically, that's...
Not much to say there.
Yeah,
I demoed the first game. I didn't like it. You're not gonna get me back for it. It's just not my type of game.
No.
It's too much of a shooter, man. When I come for the Star Wars franchise, I want to hack and slash with my saber. I don't care about shooting and multiplayer. I want my action games.
So you wouldn't have even liked the original Battlefront games anyway, because that's exactly what they were. They were shooters.
Right. Like, I went for the beta, and I saw that it was mainly a shooter, and I was like, okay, good thing I didn't buy this.
Yeah.
Because it's not for me.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it seems cool. Some people are saying it's not enough of a change, but it's EA you're talking to, so good luck.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that corner right there. When I watched the gameplay, I was like, this looks interesting, but it's the exact same thing that we had last time. And after a minute, I just turned it off because I couldn't be bothered. It's just, instead of stormtroopers and the rebels, now it's time you've got the armies from the prequel trilogy, because everybody loves those. Everybody loves clones, and actually people do, but that's okay. But
not because of the movies, usually for Clone Wars series.
For the Clone Wars series, both of them. Yeah, people like that particular era of Star Wars. And, but for the game itself, I was just kind of a bit... Here's my reaction. I'm going to show on camera right now. Just basically that.
That was great, because that also provided an audio reaction for our audio listeners. I keep forgetting there's a camera. It's weird.
We're still getting used to it.
Yeah. So Battlefront 2...
But it's your camera. That's weird.
No, it's just...
You set it up!
Right. But my mentality, because this is mainly a podcast, is like, all right, got to make sure I talk well, I talk into the mic. But now it's like, got to make sure I look into the camera and stuff like that.
Mic.
Yeah. 2 inches from the mic. I have to be, otherwise the sound is
Right
not gonna
here, right here, where you can barely hear it in the mic.
I'm Batman. Next we got A Way Out, which looks freaking awesome.
A Way Out looks really good. I was very, very intrigued by it. I didn't love it, at least what I saw, but I was like, okay, this is good. I was a big fan of Brothers, so I'm glad to see that studio going ahead and doing another game like that. And I think a Prison Break idea is just that's just a great idea for game design. I worry about the moment-to-moment gameplay because I need to see how that works. What we saw looked good.
It'll be a story-heavy game for sure.
Yeah, it's story-heavy, but I mean, like, I don't want it to be like a David Cage game. Because we've got enough of those. I'm not even particularly looking forward to Detroit, which we'll get to later. Beyond Two Souls was annoying. Heavy Rain, I think, is overrated. It's not really my cup of tea.
I have found that David Cage's games split people hard into love it or what?
Yeah, basically. But with A Way Out, this... I mean... I think the story will be good, but I want to know what am I playing, because we saw a section where you have to like smuggle some sheets out of the washroom in the prison, and you know, for the incidental moment-to-moment gameplay, that's really good, but you're not going to be doing that for 10, 20 hours.
I think that game will be, because of the developers, I think that game will be so story heavy that I don't think you'll repeat anything. I think it will be quite linear, and I think it will... It's like an Uncharted. There's not much repetitiveness. You just move on to the next set piece. I think there will be a lot of that here, because it's kind of like how Brothers felt. I didn't beat it, but what I played from it, it's like you just go level to level, and it's always a bit different. It's not like... It's the complete opposite of, oh, here's your world, go do what you want. This is more like, oh, experience these characters in different situations.
Okay, so chalk me up for cautiously optimistic, more on the side of optimism, because it's just a great concept.
And it's good developers, they've proven themselves. Next we have Need for Speed Payback.
I'm going to give you my reaction right now. Same thing.
I think what's interesting about this one is how they were like, let's make this a Fast and Furious game because people like that movie.
Yeah, I mean, those are fun movies.
It's just interesting to have have that change of tone for that announcement specifically, and I thought that the sequence they showed looked cool.
It did look cool.
The
person they had driving was terrible.
Oh yeah,
the person who held the controller in their hands,
it was so
in
bad.
The Creator's Cave or whatever they called it.
That sounds illegal.
Terrible.
Honestly,
it
the
does.
name Creator's Cave sounds illegal. It sounds like a sweatshop. Let's be real.
Okay, everybody and their mothers made fun of that.
But like, again, the set piece looked cool, but you can't sustain a whole game
with set pieces.
Of its set pieces,
Unless you're
especially a
Uncharted.
racing game.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
It just doesn't work. And at this point,
with
it's
a
like,
racing game, even though I'm not particularly fond of them, it's all about the cars. And the crashes and the speed. You can't survive off of set pieces unless your name is Uncharted.
And the thing that like is also frustrating is if you're going the Fast and Furious route, you might as well just license the franchise and do that, because a lot of the attraction of that is
Star
Vin
Wars.
Diesel and the family.
And The Rock.
And The Rock, yeah.
Can you smell what he's cooking?
Yeah, I can. But, so that's the thing. It's like you have these cool set pieces, but with just generic white people.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, maybe the writing will be good, but this is, after all,
see.
I'm talking about.
I am excited.
Not holding out for that.
What was that Need for Speed game that came with the launch of the PS4? Arrivals?
I think so.
Because I know I played that one, and I actually quite enjoyed it. So, we'll have to see. The announcement may have not been quite exciting, but...
Maybe the game itself will be good.
We'll see. Battlefield 1 will get night maps and a Russian expansion. Do you want to talk about this? Because I really don't.
No, not really.
Not really.
Battlefield 1 gets an expansion.
It's more Battlefield.
We knew it was coming. People like Battlefield. My brother plays Battlefield all the time.
Apparently, what I've been hearing, and I haven't played it, because, again, I'm not a shooter guy, But I've been hearing that it's really hard to see in that game. So a lot of people are like, night maps. It's hard enough to see in that game to see the enemy across the giant fields of sand and stuff.
You got that
already.
from Total Biscuit, didn't you?
I mean, that's what he's been saying. And
Yeah, I mean, having watched the game in action, I don't think it's particularly hard to see, at least not on a PS4.
because for me as a shooter noob, I also played the beta for that game and then decided not to buy it. And I had a really hard time just seeing a player anywhere. It was on the same map during the day, and just the arena is so big that I had a hard time seeing anyone. Anyway, more Battlefield. Yay for Battlefield peeps.
Good for you, Battlefield people.
Then we have the Madden and FIFA stuff. Which
Story mode in the
modes.
Madden game.
So I played maybe 1 or 2 hours of the FIFA 17 story mode, and it was bad.
Yeah.
I really did not like it.
Yeah.
FIFA 17 honestly was the first like disappointment in FIFAs that I've had. Mostly they've been solid, but yeah, I'm not too keen on these story modes. I would rather have seen them, I don't know, make a change in the game that's more important than.
I love how at E3 they were
they were
saying how with Madden they were talking about how the series has been driven forward by innovation, and that's just like a great joke. I love that. That's a fantastic joke.
It's innovation is the opposite of what the sports games are. They have
EA. You can have a good sports game. You just not have EA be behind it, because then it's just the same thing every year.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's pretty much EA.
Yep.
Very lackluster.
Battlefront 2, if you're excited about that game at all, the standout I think was A Way Out. That was pretty much the best one of that conference. Nothing else to really report on for EA. So, that being said, let's move on to the first of the big three, Microsoft.
I'm trying to
and
pull up
Phil
the
Spencer
announcements.
and his baby, the Xbox One X.
What bad name.
It's not just a bad name. It's a bad thing. It's just a bad... Okay, I can't even say that. It's not a necessary thing.
I'm listening. I just have to go fix something real quick.
He is stepping away. He has stepped away from the mic. Ooh, this is where my hands are, where Chris was just a second ago. Woo!
I'll keep talking about Xbox.
Okay, Xbox. So why does Xbox One X not work? Simple. Phonetically, you now have a lot of confusion because, let's see. Say it with me. Xbox One. Xbox One S. Xbox One X.
X and S phonetically sound very similar, and I imagine a lot of kids will be upset because their parents will have picked up the wrong console
If
because
they
it's
can
cheaper.
even tell. Yeah. And you know what? From my point of view, the parent made the right decision in that situation, because this is a lackluster, really, really disappointing console. I came into E3 2017 with a little bit of hope.
So hold on. Let's start with just laying out the facts in case you guys haven't seen it. So
For the two of you who haven't seen it, yeah.
The new Xbox console, it's an iterative console. It's not the next generation.
No, it's
It's
not.
called the Xbox One X.
We
It's
are
coming,
not in the 9th generation of consoles yet.
No, it's coming November 7th for $499. Yikes.
$500.
Whew. And its advantages are some stuff. It's backwards compatible.
It's super powerful. The most powerful console ever made.
It will make the cars in Forza real pretty.
Yep.
And
Specifically for the Xbox One X, that's about it. It's really powerful. It's really small. It's about a third of the size of the original Xbox One, and it will be backwards compatible with the original Xbox. But then again, so will everything in the Xbox One family.
and it's also on PC. So like
Yeah, because games with anywhere game sharing. What is it that they call that at Microsoft?
play anywhere. I
Play
think.
anywhere.
Who cares?
Who cares?
So yeah, that's the Xbox.
Xbox One X, which I am just going to call Scorpio from now on, because that's just an easier thing to say. than Xbox One X.
Let's stick with One X since that's their name.
One X. There.
1X.
Let's do that. I like that better.
So the One X, the thing that's problematic with it is the same thing that the Pro had issues with. It's who is this for? There's only one potential person that this is for, and it's still not completely for them. It's only partially for them. I can think of a person who wants a gaming PC but can't afford it.
This is a person you know in real life.
So this is like me,
or a hypothetical situation.
This is like me if, let's say, I didn't get enough money from my family on Christmas to buy my gaming rig.
Okay.
You know, and I'd be like, all right, well, I can't afford a gaming PC. So
Yeah.
the Xbox One, though, the One X might be a good substitute as a low-end gaming PC for some games and stuff.
And it's smaller than your typical gaming PC, too.
Yeah.
You don't need a tower. It's...
Absolutely. But the problem with it is that all this 4K stuff
Who has that?
for that person is pointless because the person that wants the 4K gaming has a
The 4K
$2,000 television. That means they can easily afford a gaming PC, which will, you know, next year probably have better components than
The Xbox One
The
X.
One X.
The One X, yes.
Yeah.
And see, like, they were very, very particular to say that even if you don't have a 4K TV, it will still play games in 1080. But at that point, why not buy an Xbox One S, which came out last year and is half the price?
Right.
And it's still small.
And we get into the same argument that the Pro had, which is you can't make the upgrade too big because you'll alienate the base, the One S and the plain One users. So you have to limit how far ahead the One X can get. But on the other hand, if it's just a tiny upgrade like the Pro had, you know. What's the point of spending all this money?
Right.
You know?
Like, I see no point. For one thing, I've got an Xbox One. I'm happy with it. I don't need all those teraflops of data or whatever the hell they called it in their science babble.
I don't even know what that means.
Neither do I.
So the thing for me is, even with the Pro, I'm a big PlayStation fan, and even with the Pro, I was like, oh, I wished my PlayStation broke so I could get a Pro. That's the only scenario I could see myself getting a Pro, because if I'm already buying a new one, I might as well get the best one.
Yeah, see, I'm an Xbox fan, and I don't even have that. If my Xbox One breaks, I'll just get an Xbox One S because it's cheap.
Right. Absolutely. With that, I would do the same thing because the One X is just too pricey. But with the PlayStation, when the difference is, I think, what, $50 or $100, I just get the Pro.
Yeah.
But it's still a thing of like, oh, only if my PlayStation broke.
Only if your PlayStation broke and you had a 4K TV.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even care. Like, for me, like the load times or whatever, I'll pay the extra $100. That's fine with me. The problem is my PlayStation works fine.
Yeah.
So
don't need it.
Why? And you know, you'd know that if it sold well, Sony would release its numbers. So it's obviously not doing well.
No.
So that's the console.
Right.
It's a problem. I
mean, technology-wise, they threw a lot of big words out there. It sounds really impressive, but
right.
I don't see any reason why you would need to buy one, because if you can afford a 4K TV, you can build yourself a gaming rig and just play PC games on your console.
There's just no proof in the pudding.
No.
You didn't.
They built it because they could, and probably to build the framework for the actual next console.
Right. This feels like a rushed knee-jerk reaction to like the Pro and stuff, so that they have something, you know. Anyway, moving on to the games. We have Forza Motorsport 7. More Forza. I mean,
more racing games.
The people who are into racing games are gonna have real fun because we have Need for Speed, we have Forza. Didn't somebody else announce the Crew?
Ubisoft announced the Crew too.
Yeah,
which actually looks like fun.
So I mean, you know, if you're a racing game fan, now's the time.
Forza's not my thing. It's just, you know, it's pretty cars and you sit in them and you have to look in the mirrors to see behind you. It's like it's basically a racing simulator, and it's not for me. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
I mean, this is for the people who have like the whole thing with the chair and the pedals and the wheel, you know? And for them, it's great.
Yeah, have a great time with it because I'm sure that's really fun.
Yeah. Then we had
Next
an
one.
announcement of Metro Exodus is coming out next year.
Yes.
I am very
Yes.
excited. Now, this is a game.
Yes, I was so happy when I saw that.
I'm just really pumped because this is a studio that I don't know how known this story is, but this is a studio that started working in like wintry Ukraine with power outages with gears on like cardboard table.
Massive respect to them and their worth ethic
And
for
so-
turning out a third game now.
Yeah, and so all the success they can get, they deserve. They build good games, so I'm definitely going to be picking this
So
up.
let's see, we've got Metro 2093, right?
I think so.
The first Metro game.
Yeah.
Metro Last Light, which I did not play but heard good things about. And now Metro Exodus, which looks, graphically at least, because Always was basically a concept trailer, but graphically looks amazing.
Yeah. Last Light I touched a little bit. I liked it, but I didn't get a chance to go deep with it.
Right.
Anyway, moving on. First look at Assassin's Creed Origins.
Okay, I would like to redact all the snoring that I've done for racing games and transfer it to Assassin's Creed Origins.
So the thing is, it's nice that they took a year off. I think it allowed them to build some hype. And I think I'll wait
Really?
until the reviews get out. Some people are excited. I think
Good for them.
I think it's a neat idea, but so
I mean,
here's my issue with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 3, I think, divided players into two groups. One half that was in it for the story, and I know it sounds silly, but the first game had like a really nice story with a really cool mystery ending.
so did the second one.
And so did
did
the second
Brotherhood.
one.
So did Revelations to a point.
Right.
And then 3 happened.
And I was in that camp where I was in it for the
Same.
story. I was like, I really enjoy this. And then 3 happened, and I was like, oh, fuck this.
This is where we're going with this? No.
Oh, this
Bad.
is
Don't
really
do
bad.
that, Ubisoft. This is bad. You killed the hype.
Right. And then
Story-wise, at
the
least.
second half of the players who were in for the gameplay, they were like, oh, 2 has some neat ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brotherhood has this cool, like, get people in your group thing. And 3 is, like, now mechanically really cool with the
Yeah.
climbing and everything. And those are the people, I think, who loved Black Flag.
Oh, I personally, I love Black Flag.
And I enjoyed Black Flag too.
That's why I'm looking forward
but-
to something that we'll talk about later.
Right, but that's the thing is, like, I'm done with Assassin's Creed because
From a story
it's-
perspective, yeah.
its story has gotten so muddled, and it's interesting to like. I think it's good to step away from the guns and the technology and go into, hey, let's just give you a world to explore, focus on the history maybe
Yeah.
a little bit more. And there,
Ancient Egypt is a great place to put a
Right.
video game.
it shows promise for sure, but
But looking at the gameplay, it looks like a combination of every Assassin's Creed game that has come before it, plus Far Cry Primal with, the eagle flying around and scanning
you're totally
for enemies.
right. You're totally right.
And that's the big problem with Ubisoft. Every game of theirs is just kind of bleeding into one game, just one generic game.
When I saw like level up and elite gear
And
and
loot.
skill points,
Microtransactions.
it's just like that's not Assassin's Creed. You're making it into Far Cry with the caped people,
Yep, and climbing.
and I'm just not on board with that.
No,
So yeah,
story-wise, big.
it's not about who cares about the story anymore.
Yeah, there's no draw for that. Deep Rock Galactic. That actually looks like fun. I'm gonna say it right now. It looks like a lot of fun.
So I haven't seen anything about this.
I just saw the trailer at the press conference. I was like, this looks like a combination of that astronaut game that's on Steam right now. It's like in early access where you
Astroneer?
Astroneer, that's the
Ooh.
one. It's like a combination of Astroneer and Left 4 Dead. And it's gonna.
Oh,
done
I'm
with this-
sold.
Yeah,
Astroneer, I love.
it's like it's dwarves and they're punching their way through rock, and then they got to fight off these insects with
Oh, that's
guns.
cool.
And from a concept standpoint, I'm sold. I'm like, okay, show me some gameplay and we'll talk.
Let's see this because this is interesting. I didn't see like every press conference in full, so I don't know if this was like a pee break or something, but I missed this one. Next up, we have PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds will be on Xbox One console launch exclusive, so it will come to PS4 eventually.
Yeah.
More Battlegrounds. Some people love it. I don't care.
Yeah, it's really good for the streams. I've seen it. It looks like it's fun, but it's probably not going to be my cup of tea when it comes out.
I've tried from these battle arena shooters. It's just I'm just so bad at it that it's not worth it for me trying to figure it out. It's like the learning curve is like steep. 'Cause
It's very steep.
There's so many things to learn, and you got to act fast, and then the area is shrinking. It's just too much. I can't handle it.
No.
If it had a single player campaign to teach me the ropes, maybe I'd be down.
State of Decay 2.
State of Decay 2 was next. It's coming spring 2018.
Did you play the first game?
I have not.
I did. It was good for the first 20 hours, and then at a point it just kind of tailed off without any kind of inclination towards a main story. But I'm looking forward to this one because I really enjoyed the time that I spent with the first game. I look forward to seeing where this series goes because it looks like it's going for more of a co-op focus that's kind of in line with what Microsoft wants. More multiplayer exclusives, less, first person or single player exclusives.
Right.
Don't necessarily agree with that, but if it's a quality game, I'll still pick it up.
Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like it has fun ideas. By the way, I forgot to mention it. All of these recaps that we're looking up are by Kirk Hamilton from Kotaku.
So take what you will, because we're missing some stuff, inevitably. Because Microsoft said they were showing off 42 games, and a lot of that was in a sizzle reel somewhere around the halfway point of the conference.
Here's the thing that's exciting. The next up, we have the Minecraft announcement where it said, well, first of all, they said better graphics, which I don't know how that is relevant to Minecraft. But the thing that's exciting,
just God rays everywhere.
Yeah, God rays for Minecraft, which I don't really think that people are asking for that, but whatever.
Nope, I don't care.
The thing that is exciting to me is Minecraft. Minecraft and, potentially Microsoft in the future is going fully multi-platform. Like, I enjoy this idea that, a couple years down the road, hopefully, maybe you'll be able to play online with people of every system.
I mean, Rocket League already does that.
Yeah. But
if it becomes the industry standard, you're saying?
Right, like, that's spreading across more games.
Oh, that'd be fun.
There have been numerous times where I want to play with my friends in Europe who have different rigs and different consoles and whatever, and just being able to play with them would be better for everyone,
Yeah.
So that's exciting to me. And
and I would like to see that as well.
More Minecraft. That's
more
fun.
Minecraft. Here's the sizzle reel.
Next up,
Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Dragon Ball Fighter Z. This is a get hype moment for fans of Dragon Ball.
Not that they haven't had some excellent games the past couple of years.
I mean,
Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2.
Our friend Mike is gonna pick this up for sure.
Probably day one.
Yeah, he already has his pre-order, and I think. Yeah, so I mean, it's good. I think Microsoft needs to build its fan base back up from these little niche communities, saying, "Hey, these Dragon Ball fans want their game. Let's give it to them."
And all the trailers they showed off this year at E3 was definitely a step in the right direction.
Absolutely,
they need to do more, but this is a good first step.
Right. The Darwin Project looks like a cartoonish competitive survival game.
If you know about, we were talking about PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it's basically the same thing, except it's got a more cartoony art style, a bit more. It looks like a combination of, what's the MOBA that's in third person? Not League of Legends, not Dota. Smite. Smite is the one. Yeah, Smite. It's a combination of Smite and basically PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Okay.
It looks like fun. I'm not really into the whole genre, so I'm probably not going to pick it up. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we'll see. Cool.
Might be good.
Sounds good. There's something called Black Desert.
MMORPG. Totally generic.
Cool. Skip. The Last Night.
The Last Night looks like... Yeah, that looks really fun.
That is one
trailer
of the
was
best
really...
art styles I've seen. Holy shit.
It reminded me of the one that came out last year. It's like Super or Hyper Space Drifter.
Hyperlight Space Drifter?
Something like that. If you understand what we're talking about in our nonsense, then you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think this is really, really interesting as...
at least as a concept.
As a concept, yes. The art style looks dope.
It looks almost like a 70s noir.
Gameplay looks cool. It's got... The thing about the art style that's interesting, it's sort of like pixel art, but different. It's hard to explain. It's like
you have to see it in order to get it.
it feels like a modernized pixel art. So there's pixel art, but you also have like lens flares and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
So I'll be definitely looking into that.
Just for the art, I'm interested.
Something else called the Artful Escape.
Did not make an impression with me. I don't know what it is.
I don't even know.
Code
what that is.
Vein, anime vampires plus Dark Souls. That's all you need to know.
That sounds dope. We have Tacoma coming on August 2nd.
Glad to see a release date for that. You know, it's by the people who did what's the game that just came out recently? Soma, I think.
Oh, Soma?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm talking about, folks.
We
Just
could all
saying.
be wrong. Feel free to correct us in the comments, and we'll make corrections next episode.
Yep.
Cuphead is coming out on September 29th.
Finally, we have a release date. Cuphead looks so much fun.
Cuphead looks amazing. Is that exclusive forever, or?
I don't know. I think at the very least it's a timed exclusive.
Yeah, I hope it eventually comes to PS4 or PC, because I would love to play Cuphead.
I need Xbox. So many indie games. That's a
Ton of indie games.
Big chunk of what they showed of those 42 games that we talked about earlier.
They're doing the PS3 thing where PS3 was like, hey, we can't bring you these giant things, but here's a bunch of cool, weird Japanese games, and Microsoft is going into that piece of pie where they're like, all right, we know we're losing, but here's some cool experiences that are only on Xbox and stuff
only
like
on
that.
Xbox, where you could get them on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, Steam does kind of throw a wrench into that, especially with the Play Anywhere system.
Yep.
Xbox has been giving off a bunch of mixed messages lately with their stuff, you know?
Everybody does. You know.
Going backwards compatible and doing the Play Anywhere thing, and then going, oh, we have a bunch of exclusives, though, so those aren't on the Play Anywhere. And it's like, what? Can you just be clear? You know? Like,
figure this out, please.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Big announcement. Life is Strange Before the Storm goes back in time. It's a prequel to Life is Strange.
I was not a huge fan of Life is Strange.
I
understand a lot of people were, but I
Right.
was not a big fan of the fact that it all came down to the final choice and none of the
don't
other
spoil
stuff.
it.
I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
I'm just saying there was one choice at the end, and that's the final choice, and that sets the ending of the game. Doesn't
Right.
matter what else you did. It only matters to you, the player,
Well,
which I guess is what matters.
I mean, Telltale has that diamond structure as well. Maybe Life is Strange didn't hide it as well in your eyes.
No.
I thought
No, they
Life
did
is
not.
Strange was pretty neat. I only played the first 2 hours of it, so I'd have to keep going. But for the people who liked it, I think that's a really, really good pick. Something called Super Lucky Tale.
Yeah, this is like basically
Just honestly,
cartoony platformer. You know, Banjo-Kazooie.
let's just keep going.
Yep.
Here's the other big one.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Oh, I loved this. I loved this trailer so much.
I am so pumped.
I want this game.
Is this an Xbox exclusive?
I think it is because Rare's making it, so you might be able to get it on PC.
If it's Rare, maybe it will be on PC, which will be
but
great. But I could
regardless,
not be more excited for Sea of Thieves.
This is the pirate game that I want. I
Yes.
want pirate games.
Yes, love it.
You can shoot yourself out of a cannon to board other ships. How much fun is that? Oh, it's so exciting.
Absolutely.
There's my mini freak out moment.
That's a pick. That is a get hype moment.
That's a get hype moment.
as Tim Geddes from Kinda Funny calls it. Crackdown 3 was shown.
With Terry Crews. I mean, sold. I love Crackdown.
Looks cool.
I'm excited.
All right, here's
Orc Bro.
my own
Orc Bro.
my own personal
High five, Orc Bro. Come
my
on.
own personal, absolutely amazing trailer was Shadow of War.
Middle Earth Shadow of War, the sequel to Shadow of Mordor.
Wow.
I'm really excited for this game.
Expanding the Nemesis
You're
system.
really excited for this game.
Couldn't be more pumped.
Yep. And it was everywhere at E3. I think it showed up at least once in each conference, except for like the other publishers like Ubisoft, and I don't think Nintendo
Right.
showed it.
I don't remember honestly, but it just looks so cool. I love the
looks so
Nemesis
much fun.
system. That's expanded. It's all there. The armies look like a dope system. Bro Orc is incredibly charming.
I hope
and
he's in the story so
one
that
of the best
everybody
side
gets him.
characters.
Hang on.
Oh no,
We
Reload.
lost our page. We're getting it back.
Oh no.
Come back to us, Orc Bro.
Oh no, Orc Bro. We
There it
lost
is.
you. There
All
we
right.
go.
Quickly, find Orc Bro again.
Oh no, what's happening?
It's loading. All right. So anyway,
Yep.
I hope this got that particular orc is part of the story so you can keep him around forever. Because
Absolutely.
that was such a charming character.
I feel like most players, if it's possible in the game, will make him like the
Or if-
highest in command general type.
Or they'll
person.
find an orc who's similar to him and make him the orc bro.
Yeah.
He's like,
Right.
I want to smash heads with you. Sound good, mate? Yeah, sound good.
Oh, looks great.
He's a fast talker. Ori.
The image is loaded, but the title's.
Ori and the Willow of the Wisp. No, Will of the Wisp. It's not Will of the Wisp.
So tell me, did you play the first game?
I played a little bit of it. I didn't play as much as I wanted to, just because time constraints and memory constraints on the Xbox One. Big fan, though. Really big fan. Love the art, love the gameplay. It was challenging, but it was a good kind of challenging.
So the thing is, for me, platformers are my favorite genre. And
There you go. So this is right up your alley.
I've seen videos of the first Ori, and I don't care what they do, I'm buying that so hard. I am buying it so hard.
I'm probably going to pick this up, too.
Yeah. All right, let's... Where did we... Oh, we've seen all of these.
We're at Ori.
We're at Ori.
Get to Ori. Cuphead. Also platformer.
Yeah, just a second, guys. I'm working through these.
Through the problems of technology.
Oh, this is bad. All right.
I would just use a computer. For those, since you cannot see behind us, audience, we also have, for some reason that we are not using, a massive monitor displaying everything that we're looking at on this
Right.
iPad. And I just knocked over my mic because I'm an idiot.
I don't have wireless mouse and keyboard, so I couldn't figure out a way to use the monitor.
Next time I'll bring over my wireless mouse.
That'll be really, really awesome.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Just a gorgeous game.
Gonna pick that
Hugely
up.
emotional with the first one. Love it to death.
And the end of the show closed with BioWare's new game Anthem, which honestly looks like Destiny.
It looks like Destiny, but BioWare, so it'll have a story.
Right. So it won't be shite.
So it will be good. I'm really excited about this. I think this looks great.
It like the really cool moment in the trailer was when,
facial animations?
Well, not even that. The facial animations. It was like
We found the
sorry.
people that went missing from Mass Effect Andromeda. They were working on this. You know what? That's fine because this looks great.
Yeah, the really cool moment for me was when the guy's flying with his jetpack and dives into the water and then continues diving with his jetpack underwater. And
Yep,
there's
and then
just-
pops back up.
it was
And
really cool.
the open world combat looks really interesting. The world looks interesting. I want
Yeah.
to see more of this game.
Let's wait to see gameplay because if it turns out to be like
That was gameplay.
yeah, but
Oh, you want to see more?
I want to see more gameplay because the story and some of the mechanics look cool, but how it gels together, it might just end like
Might
if
not come
most of
together
it
the way they want it
is
to, yeah.
is more of just like I bought Destiny at launch because I thought it was gonna be this cool space thing and it was gonna have more than just the shooting, and then it turned out that most of its gameplay was just
Shoot.
boom, 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 boom,
No,
boom,
no,
boom,
no,
boom,
no,
boom,
no.
you
Loot
know?
collection. Loot collection. We want to be Borderlands, but without the humor.
Yeah, and then it's like if this turns out to be mostly just mowing down hordes of enemies, then I'll be
I
out.
doubt it. I really do.
I hope not. All right.
Because BioWare's worked on so many different things at this point, mostly RPGs. Destiny was Bungie's first foray into anything resembling that. So,
Yeah.
benefit of the doubt, I'm excited for Anthem. I think it looks good. Can't wait.
Alrighty, so that was Xbox.
Xbox and Microsoft conference. Personally, better than EA. I think they did a better job than EA.
I mean, that's not a high bar.
No, but in a way that I can actually say, oh, okay, they had a good conference.
Yeah, they had there was a lot of interesting stuff and a lot of variety, which
Yeah.
I think is really good.
If anything,
Like,
the
there
most disappointing thing was the Xbox One X. The thing that they were
Ironically.
touting as the centerpiece of their conference was the most uninteresting part.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think the good part about Xbox's conference overall was there was something for everyone. There was something for the shooter bros. There was something for platformer guys like me.
It wasn't just
You
Halo
know,
and Gears of War again.
There were lots of indies.
And that's what we were talking about last time. What are they going to show? That's not Halo or Gears of War.
Right.
So
And
happy.
So we have some good stuff. Moving on to Bethesda.
Hey, everybody's favorite until Fallout 4 came out.
I really do I really did like their sort of direct style presentation with like the commercials and stuff. The announcements are a separate thing, but the presentation I thought was really fun.
I'm mostly with you on that. I thought it was a little bit trite. Like, oh, you're trying to be different. You're deliberately going for something different. You are a hipster now, Bethesda, but not too much of a hipster.
So that's like, if I had one thing, like my biggest gripe about Xbox is right now it doesn't really have an identity. It's trying to appeal to everyone, and that's what I like about a lot of the other conferences. Is EA is sort of also this amorphous floating company, but like
sports.
Bethesda has its identity. Ubi has its identity too sort much.
Yeah, definitely too much. Iconic.
Right. And then even Sony and Nintendo obviously, but even Sony has starting
Sony
to carve this sort of Sony game. Anyway, the first Bethesda announcement was Fallout 4 VR, Doom VR. We're getting those in October.
Yep.
For the people who have VR, this is really cool.
Yeah, Doom is really good.
I feel like Doom will cause a lot of throwing up. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know.
I mean, I don't care enough about Fallout 4 anymore to really have any interest in the VR game. Doom is one of my favorite games. I might pick up a VR for it.
Yeah,
possibly.
We'll see.
I don't really care enough, though, for that kind of money drop.
It'll be interesting it's interesting for the future of Bethesda, right? They obviously love VR. Yeah. So a lot of their future games might come with Valve. VR support out of the gate. So that will be interesting. You know, the next Elder Scrolls game, the mainline game,
not ESO.
in 2055, we'll probably have VR out the gate. Then we get into one of the worst things they could have done, the Creation Club. So for those of you who didn't know, the Creation Club is sort of a way for Bethesda to
it's fund paid mods again.
Yeah. You can pay for their currency, whatever coins or points they use, I forget, and then you can use that to buy mods essentially.
Yeah.
Although I think a large component of this will be Bethesda and its partners doing the mods. I think the community mods will be a smaller aspect of it.
The way I understood it was the community, the leaders of the modding community for Bethesda games will be sending their mods to Bethesda. The ones that Bethesda doesn't like, they'll send back, and those will remain free. The ones that Bethesda does like, they'll take, touch up, give them polish as much as Bethesda can, because, polish.
Right.
And then that's what will be on the Creation Club. At least that's what I understood. I could be completely wrong about that. I don't know how to feel about that. I think I think the idea is good. I just think that putting it on a platform where you have to pay money when something has traditionally been free is a bad idea.
I think, so the way that it would be maybe not. The thing I was going to say is maybe if they put those mods in packs and had,
at that point it's DLC. At that point it's DLC.
At that point it's DLC, and I still don't know if I'm okay with that.
No.
Just paying for mods just feels gross. You know? It's like we don't know how to make this game good, so you make it good and pay
we're
for
gonna
it.
Squeeze you for as much money as we can.
All right. Then, if you didn't think it could get worse, we got the Link Skyrim monstrosity on Switch.
Yep.
Just please Google Link Skyrim.
Oh my God.
Because this looks like something out of Nightmares. This is Nightmare Land.
It's weird to look at.
This should be like Evil Link or whatever, Shadow Link or whatever they call it.
Dark Link.
Yeah, Dark Link. Because
Dovahkiin Link.
Because, man, it looks like this Frankensteinian monster with a Master Sword.
Speaking of Skyrim on the Switch, motion controls. Isn't that fun?
We all know how much people love motion controls.
On anything that's not the Wii.
You know what fans have been asking for? To shoot bows like this. Because that's a thing that we always want.
Yeah, everybody wants to.
Finally, we have the technology in 2017.
In all fairness, I'm sure people are going to love going like this with a Joy-Con and swinging a sword. I'm sure they're going to love that. The bow, probably not. It's probably going to get annoying after a while, but going like this and, smashing people with an axe or a hammer, That could be fun.
For 2 minutes.
For 2 minutes, yeah.
That's the problem. Then you're gonna turn it off. And like, man, Nintendo.
6-year-old game.
Let's just keep going before I go on another rant.
Dishonored!
Dishonored gets a new adventure in September. Looks cool.
Yeah, standalone adventure, Death of the Outsider. I have mixed feelings about this because I was a massive fan of the first Dishonored. Not so much of a fan of the second one.
Yeah, just come closer to the mic a bit. Sorry.
Yep. Chris is waving me closer to the mic.
There we go.
Is this close enough for you?
That's too close. That's too close.
Okay.
Overload.
I'm messing with you. But yeah, big fan of the first Dishonored game. Mm-hmm. Less of a fan of Dishonored 2. I thought Dishonored 2 was trite. I thought it was tired. I thought it was an unnecessary game.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, and which is weird because everybody loved Dishonored 2 for some strange reason. I played through it in a day, and that whole time it was just a slog. I was just like, I gotta get through this. Maybe it'll get better as we go. Mm-hmm. But every bit of that game was just annoying.
I was never really a fan of Dishonored, so this doesn't speak to me. It was just the core gameplay loop I don't like. I don't like the whole like. I felt like the stealth was too hard, and it was much more fun to be evil in that game, and much more rewarding because you could just go and unleash your abilities, which seemed like a lot of fun. But then that made you evil, and I don't like being evil in games. I like to be good, but then the good part is just unnecessarily hard and boring, as you have to stealth through, and you can't kill him. You just have to knock him out. It was just like too much work.
I think it's very much a difference in just what you're looking for because. That's definitely the case in Dishonored 2, where it was much more fun to just mess with people.
Right.
You could use your powers on them, and you could get around them.
I mean, that's
and you
Bethesda's
could kill
shtick. Mess with people.
Yeah, but at the same time, in the first game, being stealthy and sneaking around and knocking people out felt like a viable option, and I enjoyed doing that. The timing and the way that I would execute those in the first game had so much more tension and weight behind it because it's like, oh, I've decided not to kill this guy. I'm instead going to take him and I'm just going to hide him away, and he's going to be fine. He's going to wake up tomorrow. Everything's going to be fine and dandy, and there won't be a, pest zombie walking around tomorrow where he would have been. That was missing in the second game, and that's why I have this mixed feeling about Death of the Outsider.
I'm usually not a fan of 3D stealth games. Because it's the thing that gets me angry and frustrated with them is that it's unclear as to like what's happening. Like a lot of times I get discovered from like way back over there that I could have never seen, a guy from 50 feet away, because I didn't happen to look that way. Like the stealth games I like are games where it's it's clear what you're doing, how you're doing it. Like even the original Assassin's Creed and the second one and those early games, like it was clear and when a guy saw you and when he didn't, and even when he saw you, like you weren't just straight screwed. You could like re-hide, and it was exploitable. But in Dishonored, it was just like there were a lot of, at least in my opinion, like bullshit deaths that like just got me angry because I just wanted to stab the dude, but then that would punish me and make me evil when I didn't want to be, and that didn't feel good. That didn't sit well with me. Moving on, final announcement from Bethesda is The Evil Within 2.
No, it's not. It's not the final one.
It's not the final one?
No.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
The big one, the one that made me happy.
I'm sorry. The Evil Within 2 that was announced
is the penultimate announcement.
And I'm really excited.
I never played the first Evil Within. It looked like fun, but it was just like, okay, it's kind of a schlocky,
It was a touch generic, but what's really cool about the first Evil Within is because you're in this weird, strange dream world where machines are hooked up to your brain and stuff.
Yeah.
They could sort of just do whatever the heck they want.
Yeah.
And it was like a very stylized, artful experience.
It was a video game that knew it was a video game and knew how to make the most out of that.
Absolutely. And so I really love that. So I'm pumped for just more of that.
This is the final reveal.
Then the final reveal.
Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. We knew it was coming, but god damn it, I'm happy to see it in action.
It looks super cool. I never played a Wolfenstein game.
You should play the New Order. The older ones are good too. We don't talk about Wolfenstein 2007 because it didn't happen.
Well, There was no Wolfenstein in 2007.
No, there wasn't. But Wolfenstein New Order was a great game. I'm really looking forward to this as the sequel because now you have the giant robot dogs that breathe fire and you can ride on them. And that's all you needed, and I'm sold.
I'm just always
Day
down
one
to kill
purchase.
some Nazis, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
It's always fun.
yeah.
And this was the one where it was like, oh, it's in America and the threat is coming to us, right? Or was that a different game?
That was kind of the last one. New Order was like the Nazis won and took over the world.
The new Colossus, that's what it showed, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be in America.
Because like I'm maybe getting it confused. Yeah, so that was cool to me. It was like there could be interesting parallels to politics that I'm excited for.
Oh, don't worry, you've got Far Cry 5 for that.
Yeah, after seeing the gameplay, I'm not too convinced that that's what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Anyway,
that's about it.
so that's
For Bethesda,
That's
they had a
for
short conference.
Bethesda.
It was like
yeah,
38 minutes, almost 40 minutes.
it was real quick. So, moving on, we have Ubi. If I can
Ubisoft.
pull it up. Just give me a second, guys. Thank you so much for your patience. We appreciate it.
We always appreciate your patience.
Yeah. So, everything's shown at Ubisoft. Here we go. First
Ubisoft
thing,
had a really strong conference. I'm surprised to hear that come out of my mouth, but they did.
compared to last year.
Compared to last year and compared to the stuff that was this year, yeah, they had one of the stronger conferences.
First thing on the docket, Mario and Rabbids.
Yeah.
Which
Mario and Rabbids XCOM.
Which I'm so down.
Yeah, me too.
When it got leaked, I was like, this looks awful.
It looks stupid. It looked stupid, but seeing it in action, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm sold on this.
Yeah, I'm sold. It's just like,
I love XCOM. I love XCOM 2.
Yeah.
If you do that with Mario and Rabbids, why not?
I like that they not, like, Mario is usually the silly one that goes along with everything that's like, I'll take you through this adventure. I like that the Rabbids out silly Mario.
Yeah.
That's fun.
They definitely outsilly Mario.
Like, one of my favorite moments was when the Princess Peach costume rabbit is taking selfies while he's being like while he's about to be like murdered by like monsters.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
And then, of course, we got that amazing image of Yves Guillemot and Shigeru Miyamoto just on stage doing a Die Hard remake with the guns, which I would totally watch. That was amazing.
I'm surprised that Ubisoft, out of all the people, did that. But hey, I mean, he popped in at Apple for
they
Super
had to
Mario
do something
Run,
because
so,
they didn't
yeah.
have Aisha Taylor this year. So,
Yeah.
Aisha Tyler, Lana Kane on Archer.
Alrighty, moving on. The Crew 2 was announced.
This looks fun.
Looks
I didn't play the first one, but this one looks more interesting. So,
Me
I'll keep an
neither.
eye on it.
I heard it was broken, so I was like, I'm not gonna invest in this. Moving on, Transference, a creepy and mysterious VR game.
With Elijah Wood for some reason.
Ooh, that's interesting.
All right. Skull and Bones. Skull and Bones.
Now, here's
Big
the thing.
deal, this one.
This Skull and Bones was announced. It looks like Black Flag on steroids.
It's Black Flag, but it's just the ship battles.
So that's the thing I'm unclear about. It seemed like you control the ship, but maybe you can also control the characters? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I need to see more gameplay of it. I mean, I was a big fan.
Because there was the whole, like, go underwater and search for loot and treasure and stuff.
That was for Black Flag or for Sea of Thieves? Because you could be talking about either one.
I thought that was Skull and Bones.
Nope.
Too many pirate games.
Too many pirate games.
No, okay. So then my bad. I mean, the ship battles looked awesome. I hope that there's some, like,
There's
being
more than-
on deck component to it.
Yeah, I hope
you know?
there's some PvP.
Yeah, I hope this isn't
Something
like
more than PvP, because that's what we saw.
Yeah. But yeah, this is exciting. Absolutely. So
This is the one I was talking about earlier. Before we started the show, I was trying to get Chris to understand what I was talking about. It's this. Starlink Battle of Atlas. It's a Switch exclusive, and let's explain it. You get a... One second, I'm going to step away for a second. You get the Elite Switch controller.
Yep. Well,
Right over here.
for the viewers,
I am grabbing the actual Switch controller that is in this room.
Yeah.
If you can see it, it's right here. Yep, you get that. Except on
I
top,
can-
it'll
I'll
have
present it.
a platform that you attach. Don't make it sexy. Stop it.
Yeah, sorry.
All right. It'll have a platform in the centerpiece that you can attach. It basically a small model spaceship to, and from there on, it becomes Skylanders.
That's really dope.
I am not a big fan of that because I don't want to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on model ships, and you can
Right.
swap out the pieces on it to give it new abilities.
That's definitely what they're banking on.
I mean, if it were just the game, I might have some interest, but yeah, no, I'm not doing amiibos again.
yeah, we've been burned on that before.
Far Cry 5.
Yeah, next up was Far Cry 5 gameplay.
Yep. With best dog.
Best dog. More Far Cry. I mean,
With a dog.
with the dog.
Fangs for hire. Boomer. Burr, burr, burr.
Yeah.
And he brings you the guns of the people he kills, which is okay. That's pretty cool. You gotta admit that's pretty cool.
That's a really neat concept.
At the very least, it's entertaining,
Yeah.
even if it's not like wholly original. It's not like the Call of Duty dog. I am playing with my microphone.
Yeah. It's not too secure. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So the thing about the last couple of years that I've really enjoyed, that sort of goes along with this trend of Boomer the dog, is these sort of
Dogs.
Well, dogs, but
Dogs are
also just
amazing.
games doing what is it called? Quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
Just sort of these like the small things like. When GTA 5 came out, if you like wore a hat, it would pop up in your icon when you hit the pause menu. Like those little things,
Yeah.
those little details or quality of life improvements.
Yeah, that's
that
really
have
fun.
sort of been started to be taken seriously by developers, and they pop up some really fun moments in games. So Boomer the Dog gets a plus by me, although Far Cry just seems like another Far Cry.
More Far Cry.
Yeah.
It's in Montana this time. You're walking behind buses instead of, in the ferns in a tropical island.
Okay, and
The
then
big one. The
you
big
be
one.
closed with, and I quote this article, they fucking showed Beyond Good and Evil too.
Yes, it's here. It exists.
So,
it exists.
My favorite moment of E3 was the developers walking on stage and
After they show the trailer,
him shedding a tear and just being like, sorry.
just so emotional because it's been, 14 years? Because I
And-
think it was a 2003
Yeah.
game.
And they get to close the show. Man,
That's pretty
it's
awesome.
It's always sympathetic to see a developer having gone through hell and just being like, we did it, guys.
Yeah, it's finally happening. I mean, what they actually talked about after the trailer ended, I wasn't too keen on because they're like, oh, it's an online world and we want you to help make it. And I mean, that sounds a little bit too much like
It's
Destiny.
a little dangerous because that means it's so early.
Yeah, but at the same time, it exists. It's happening. We've got it.
It exists, and I'm just happy for those devs, man. That must have been so hard. Alrighty, to keep it going.
Honestly, good job, Ubisoft. You had a good, strong conference.
Honestly, yeah. In review, that was a really strong conference.
That
Right.
brings us to the one that people thought would be the big one, but
The
isn't.
one that people thought would shot machine guns into everybody else, and then they were like, "What?
What? Sony.
Sony? Oh boy."
This was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad.
I mean, with the track record they've had, it's a tough position. So I'll give them that. At some point you're gonna have a bit of a lull, and people are
Yeah.
gonna say it's
You
not as
can't-
good.
you can
it's not
only
as
drop
good as
the
the
bomb so
last
many times.
one. And it's like, yeah, and I feel like Sony was docked points for what was otherwise a pretty good conference,
Yeah,
because it wasn't incredible blow your socks off conference.
I think that's true, but at the same time, I didn't see anything that I wasn't expecting to see. I would have liked to have had a surprise.
And that's the thing is, in general, this E3, few surprises.
Very few surprises.
A lot of stuff leaked and a lot of stuff that we expected. I mean,
Beyond Good and Evil was the big
Sony
surprise.
had a couple big moments. I think the big issue that Sony had was, I loved the Spider-Man at the end, but I think the big issue was they shouldn't have closed with Spider-Man.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't have.
But
closed.
we'll get to that.
Yep.
First things first, with a would probably
Cinematic teaser for Uncharted Lost Legacy. final Uncharted game. It is a standalone. It's not DLC
Do
anymore.
we know it's a final Uncharted game? I'm
Yep.
still not convinced.
Yep, Neil Druckmann is like, this is it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. It was going to be just DLC for Uncharted 4, but now it's official. It's a standalone game.
Okay.
It's Nadine and Chloe. Nadine from Uncharted 4,
It looks
Chloe
really
from
cool.
Uncharted 2.
You know, it looks like more Uncharted.
Yeah, it's Uncharted.
And
but this is the only thing we saw from Naughty Dog this year.
and I enjoyed the well, they're probably gonna have to refocus heavily on Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah,
but
that's what they're doing now. The one everybody wants.
I really enjoyed the opening of this press conference with like the Indian instruments and stuff.
Oh yeah,
that was really fun.
I can't say the word. I'm not gonna say it because I'm gonna screw it up and people will get mad at me. But yeah,
The bongos and the sitar. And
it's not a bongo. It's sitar. Yes,
yeah.
sitar. That's the one I was thinking of.
Is that the one?
That was a nice opener.
Yeah, I don't know what that word for those bongos are, and so sorry.
It's not bongos.
Yeah. Ignorance. After that, we got to see Horizon Zero Dawn getting.
This was a nice surprise. I didn't expect to see this at E3. I was expecting this.
I like this. This I thought would make it like in the pre-show or something.
Yeah,
but it's neat. I'm always a fan of like snowy and icy regions, so this speaks to me out of the bat. Also, Horizon is an excellent game, so more Horizon is always welcome.
Go out and buy Horizon. Seriously.
Yeah.
But we didn't see any gameplay.
Talk to me about Zelda.
Yeah.
Once you've beaten it, which I haven't, so I have to get to that.
But yeah, didn't see any gameplay, but just from concept, good enough. More Horizon, always a good thing.
Guerrilla has been killing it so hard. I doubt that they'll take
For a minute, I thought it was Killzone. I was like, oh, it's Horizon. Okay.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, please no. Oh, thank goodness, it's the good one.
Yeah, the one we all want to see. Yep.
After that, we saw a longer look at Days Gone. In my opinion, much better trailer than its reveal.
I was still very mad on it.
The thing that got me excited is that you're using the zombie horde as opposed to fighting it.
Yeah, but it just looked like Uncharted with zombies.
It did and it didn't. I mean, I'll give you that it looked a little generic, and I think part of that is just because it's been in development for so long that like after The Last of Us and all these zombie games came out, you know.
It's not even the fact that it's zombies. It's just do something with the gameplay that's interesting. But
I found it interesting. Like, I think the threat of that zombie horde was showed much better.
Oh yeah, like the sheer number of zombies that are on screen at any given point
and I think
was
that's cool.
Actually very impressive, at least on a technical level.
I think this one will, you know, live or sink depending on what it feels like when you get it in your hands.
Yeah.
And you know how far and deep this game goes.
Right.
But I'm pumped for sure. All right,
this is a big deal.
Here Sony had the 1-2 punch that was huge, and that should have been the closer.
This absolutely should have been the closer. Monster Hunter on consoles and PC in 2018. Monster Hunter World, big open world.
Mother of God.
It's not on Nintendo. Well, there's going to be a Nintendo Monster Hunter, obviously, because they got to do that.
Right.
But wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Excuse me, I'm being burpy today. I don't know why.
That's okay.
But it's just, it looked so cool. I love the pop out nose on the
T-Rex. Yes,
that was really fun.
Pop out nose and wings. I was like, you've sold.
The tracking
Money.
looks cool.
Money.
The grappling hook looks cool. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
I've never really played a Monster Hunter game for more than like 30 minutes, so I'm really excited to
get into it.
Now that it looks real dope, because like it's really cool to see people who are super fans of this game just being like, I can't wait to see the new people understand how good this is.
Can't wait. And it looks amazing because it's on a more powerful machine now.
Absolutely.
So really pumped about Monster Hunter World.
And then right after that, something that looks really cool and something that we disagree on a bit.
Yeah, something that we're divided on.
Shadow of Colossus is getting remade for PS4.
I am very meh on this. I am excessively meh on this.
Which I don't understand, because
I love Shadow of the Colossus.
Perfect game, and
but
it looked so good. It looked so good, man.
I don't want Shadow of the Colossus to go the Skyrim route, because at this point there's a version of Skyrim on anything. You know.
Absolutely. I don't think that's going to be the case.
We don't need a second remake of Shadow of the Colossus. The game is over 10 years old.
I think we do.
Let it die.
I think we do
Let
exactly
it
because of that.
with its honor and dignity.
This game deserves to live, man. It like the thing is the animations were janky, and if they can clean it up, I'll be more than happy to get into it.
The animations are janky, but at the same time, look at this. The textures are just so flat and cartoony. I mean, the way the camera moves looks great in the trailer, but I don't.
I mean, we've only seen just a little bit, and I'm sure it's still early.
What I saw did not impress me. And besides, it's a remaster. What is early about that?
It's tough to call it a remaster, to be honest, because they've remade all the assets. It's at least a remaster plus, like Crash Bandicoot is being called. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call it a remake because no gameplay is being changed. A remaster plus seems an appropriate word.
Honestly, if you could change up the gameplay, I would stop complaining.
There are
the
rumors.
gameplay of Shadow Colossus and of Eco and The Last Guardian is really weak. It's the stories that are really good.
Right, absolutely. And there are rumors that the Colossi, is that the plural?
Yep, Colossi.
The Colossi that were cut in the original game are going to be brought back in this.
They do that, day one purchase.
Yeah. So I think up to like 8 were cut from the game.
Yeah. So if they do that.
If they do that.
Money.
Their fans are going to shill that cash.
I'll shill.
Yeah, I'll shill too. All right, we got another look at Call of Duty World War II multiplayer. So it was very unclear that it was a multiplayer trailer.
Yeah, I did not know that was a multiplayer trailer. I thought it was single player.
Me too. It was weird. There was a cool sense of camaraderie in it, I guess. But
I guess.
I think if they really want to get people excited for another Call of Duty type game, they need to end the Call of Duty brand and get a new shooter IP with different things.
Maybe, but people were excited about this just because it's a World War II game again. And I get that excitement. The first time I saw a trailer for this game, I was like, we're home, baby. We're home. And seeing this, it's like, okay, yeah, it's Call of Duty, it's World War II again.
Right.
I mean, I'll probably play it.
I think the announcement was more exciting than this trailer, though.
Yeah. I wanted to see gameplay.
I think they should have saved this
We
for
got
E3.
clips of gameplay.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. Big reel of PSVR games. There was some cool stuff. Supermassive is
Final
making
Fishing
some games.
15.
All right.
Final Fishing 15. That's all I'm going to say.
Final Fishing can fish off.
Yes.
But the Supermassive stuff looks cool. The horror one.
The horror ones look good.
And the like Miyazaki type mouse game looks cool.
See, the thing about that is that's clearly like a platformer where you move stuff around, and it's a bit of an adventure game. I don't see how that'll translate into VR.
I feel like that will be cool for like the story again. Like you get to connect with this mouse and see it on its adventures. You know.
Guess.
It's got a cool vibe.
I feel like a fixed perspective would benefit it more, though.
I'm picking up the vibes though, and then
of course Skyrim.
Yeah.
Again,
just
that's a game that needs to die.
That was the most lull moment of E3. Those excessive trailers of Skyrim. It was just like, Jesus Christ, this looks bad.
It's old now. It's 6 years old.
Right.
And it ages poorly because
like
it's a Bethesda game.
Even picking up when the like Ultimate Edition came out, when was it, a year ago or 2 years ago?
The special edition? Yeah, last year.
Last year. Even booting that up on my PS4, it was like, oof, I don't remember it being this bad, you know? It's bad.
And that's an improved version.
Yeah. So yeah, VR stuff. But I mean, the cool thing is that Sony isn't just being like, no, VR never happened.
Yep.
Like, finally we're seeing them being like,
they're doubling down.
We're gonna push for this.
Yeah.
Because we believe in it, you know?
Or we threw too much money at it.
Yeah.
One of the two.
And like, yeah, it's at least they're not making the Vita mistake again.
Yeah.
Which hurts me to this day. And a lot of people.
It does hurt me too.
So after that, we got the most hype with the new God of War.
You were hyped about this?
I was the most hyped about this. It looks so cool.
I'm so happy to see God of War back,
so cool.
But this trailer did nothing for me.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was cool to see the shield, but that was it. I was like, oh, that's cool.
I think the narrative potential of this game got hyped Like it was really cool to see the conflict with the son and the like.
But we
you
had that
forget
already.
your past slash, is your past still with you? And then that whole like monster reveal at the end, and then it being like it wants
Oh yes,
to
the
help us.
Jormungandr was pretty cool.
And then it's like it wants to help us. It was really cool, and seeing the action looks solid as ever.
The action.
Like the fighting. Ugh.
I have very mixed feelings about God of War going free camera third person as opposed to the fixed camera perspective that it had before. Because there are so many enemies on screen, you have to keep track of them all.
Right.
Like, this is what the Arkham games did really well. Because whenever you got in combat, you still had free camera movement, but it zoomed out, so you had a bigger field of view. This way you could keep track of things more easily. It looks like with God of War that it's still behind you. It's still up close and personal over the shoulder. And while that's fine for like a shooter because that's just the way your gun is pointing, when you're in a brawler or a fighter or any kind of action game, you got to be aware of everything.
Right. That's true. I trust Santa Monica to get the gameplay feel right because
I hope so. I think
did
they
it
can do it.
consistently with 4 God of War games, even though the fourth one was a little bit like creatively dead in my opinion. But I think this is a million times better than just seeing a God of War 5. I think it's nice for them to have a breath of fresh air and do it a different way.
Yeah, dude. Like
Kratos has a beard. That's pretty cool.
That's all you needed.
The beard is dope.
Kratos the beard.
All right. After that, we saw more
David
Detroit,
Cage.
more David Cage
David
stuff.
Cage.
This is a great title that they have here on Kotaku. Detroit is about sad robots becoming mad robots.
Yeah, basically.
That's a really cool thing.
Narratively,
Yeah.
there's a lot of potential here.
The
Get very Blade Runner vibes from it.
absolutely the problem that arises here is a lot of David Cage games get like really good trailers with mad potential for the tree branches of story. And then once people get into it and see how it closes up at the end, they get disappointed.
Inevitably.
So I'm afraid that the way that all the choices are getting hyped, that it's, ultimately it's just, I'm afraid that it's much more wide than it is deep, and that these are just a couple sections of the game that have this many possibilities as opposed to the entire game being a giant tree branch.
I just want gameplay, man. I just want some good old-fashioned gameplay. If this were made in the style of, like, I hesitate to say it, but Watch Dogs or Grand Theft Auto,
right,
I'd be all over this game.
Well, that's the opposite of what David Cage does.
I know, and that's why I'm
this will be an
disappointed because I
interactive
don't
movie.
think David Cage is a good writer.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah, that's where the division happens. And then the big closer of
the show was
which was Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Insomniac
mixed
Spider-Man.
Stealth action and a bunch of QTEs. So, a lot of people don't like the QTEs. I'm a fan of them because
I don't mind them.
Because Spider-Man has always had QTEs.
Oh, yeah.
QTEs. So I feel like to remove them would be dishonest to the franchise's roots.
Not only that,
You
but
know?
why not take advantage of the technology you've got now? Why not make this a big Spider-Man game?
Right. And like the set pieces that they showed are freaking cool.
Yeah, they're
you
really
know?
impressive. I was a big fan of this chase through the city with the helicopter with a thing
Absolutely.
dangling from the front. I was like, that's really fun.
It looks really cool, and like because it's Insomniac, the movement, which is what these games are all about, will be solid. You saw the speed at which Spidey runs up buildings and all the possibilities in which he's swinging.
Like I was not too hot on this game at when the demo started because it looked so much like a Batman Arkham game. I was like, this is just Batman Arkham but with Spider-Man.
Right.
As soon as the traversal started, I was like, I'm done. I'm sold. I really want to see more of this.
There's this interesting division of like when does it stop being a game is imitating another game and it becomes like a genre trope. Like the Souls-likes have sort of become their own genre, and imitate a Souls game is not bad anymore. So I wonder like where the difference is. But anyway, I think Spider-Man has taken just the right amount from different places of inspiration. I think it's taken the right amount of inspiration from Batman Arkham for the stealth sections. I think it's taken the right amount of inspiration from Uncharted for its set pieces.
Yeah.
And I think it's taken the right amount of QTEs from its own history And I think a Batman game with Spidey, that to me is exciting.
It is. I want to see something that makes this definitively Spider-Man besides the art, because the gameplay style was very very much the Arkham series.
You need the trailer where you fuck around in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do that.
I think that would have been cool.
I need a big boss battle. I need to see a fun, interesting boss battle that lets me know that this is a Spider-Man game.
But that's the thing. I trust Insomniac. I think in the last couple of years, with games like Sunset Overdrive, they're all about that movement, and I think they can nail that. And as long as they can do that, I'm sold. Spider-Man is sort of my favorite superhero, so I am biased here, so take that with a pinch of salt.
Okay.
I'm pumped. I think, for me personally, that Spider-Man closer left me with a jaw dropped, because the level of those set pieces was cool enough that I was like, I just want this now.
Well, you would want it now anyway because it's Spider-Man.
It's Spider-Man. You don't need to do much with Spider-Man. I mean,
just do it well.
Yeah, I even enjoyed the Amazing Spider-Man games. The first one, the second one was
we don't talk about
horrendous. So yeah, so that was Sony.
Not a bad conference, but
it was an okay conference.
Yeah, I feel like they have done better conferences.
Oh, no question about that.
That brings us to the final of the big three, Nintendo,
which just happened today.
Yep.
So,
Nintendo did the thing that Bethesda did 2 years ago. They walked up on stage and said, "Hey guys, we've got a massive genitalia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a look. It's amazing."
Talk
and
more
you
about
love
it while I fix the information. Give me just a second.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, yes, the Nintendo Spotlight, as they called it, was impressive. Very, very impressive. I loved seeing Mario Odyssey in action. I thought it looked good.
Absolutely.
Call me crazy. I thought it looked good.
I mean, Mario Odyssey is dope. It is so creative.
I mean,
goodness.
When we first saw it, when the Switch was, had its big launch event, people were concerned because bad memories of Sonic 06, and I could definitely understand that.
But it's Nintendo.
It's Nintendo, and they're doing it
Nintendo
right.
and Sega are miles apart. All right, first announcement on Nintendo's docket is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And again, a great title, which in the article, which is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, sure is a JRPG.
Yep.
It looks fun. I never played a Xenoblade game. They're too massive for me to tackle. It's just so much content.
Yeah.
I can't
Try
handle
Persona.
it.
And that's lighter on the JRPG side,
Yeah.
but there's so much to do in that game.
Oh, man. So I'm definitely hyped to try out Xenoblade. Then we have a Kirby game in 2018.
That's all you need to know. Kirby.
It's more Kirby. All right, now we get into the big hitters. This is what Nintendo has been killing it lately, and how they're slowly and weirdly transforming into a 2017 company.
It's weird to see.
There
it is, right
kicking
there.
and screaming, but they're doing it.
Yep.
Game Freak is making a mainline Pokemon for the Switch. There was also like a Pokken, but nobody cares about Pokken.
Nobody cares about Pokken. Don't do that.
Pokken's coming to Switch. If you like Pokken, cool. But the confirmation that Pokemon is coming to the Switch and that it's not
It's a
gonna stay on the
full-blooded,
3DS.
100% Pokemon game.
That is the best they could have done.
Honestly, yeah.
Like this Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Bull staying out of the Switch so that they can focus on this. That's all I need.
I'm
That's
happy.
all I need. Just think about this. We're gonna play a Pokemon game on the big screen. That's just man, all my money. After that, boom, Metroid Prime 4.
More mics dropped. More mics dropped everywhere. Holy. I'm so happy.
Nintendo went around every other press conference, stole their mic, and dropped it for them.
Yep. Nintendo, I'm sure that as the press conferences were going on, Nintendo was watching them going, so we got this in the bag, right? This is easy.
Yeah. So we have Metroid. The only thing that was revealed was the title, but that's all we need. It's
Metroid
confirmation.
Prime. Metroid Prime 4.
Another Metroid game.
It's like Beyond Good and Evil 2. That's all you needed. Just
Yeah.
to know that it exists.
That's a get hype moment. So after that, we had Switch will get a new Yoshi game in 2018.
Yoshi.
It looked fun.
Yeah.
It looked fun.
I'm not throwing shade
Paper
at it.
Yoshi. It looked fun. Then we got Zelda DLC coming June 30th.
First off, Nintendo doing DLC. That's a thing.
What is happening? What is happening with Nintendo?
They're learning.
They're doing the thing. They're like, it started with them being like, we're going into mobile games when everybody was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And now we're here.
Doing a good
It's
the good
wonderful.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Zelda DLC looks great. Potentially, we'll have some new playable characters in the second pack.
Get hype. It's happening.
Which is awesome.
And then amiibos.
Then more amiibos.
And Flaccid.
Yeah, that's the. Yeah, it was like Nintendo had this like great foreplay, and then it was just like right up the bum. Oof,
Ugh.
bad. Anyway,
Flaccid back to erect.
after
Rocket
that,
League is on the
Rocket
Switch.
League is coming to the Switch. Get hype. So here's what's really great about this. Rocket League is this gets it like a new
You can take Rocket League anywhere.
arena of players. Like the idea of taking my Switch and just busting out Rocket League at like a
Like
convention
on a train. Yeah.
or at like a convention with other people. Man, that's mad hype.
That's a great idea.
Mad hype.
You're going to any kind of gaming convention or any kind of just nerd
Yeah.
convention that's going on, and you're
Absolutely.
like, hey guys, you want to play some Rocket League?
Yeah.
Sure. Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah.
Just
get wrecked.
that's all you need.
It's amazing. Doing that, I had some cool exclusive things with Rocket League also, and then
Super Mario Odyssey.
Super Mario Odyssey. Here's the kicker. October.
Yeah.
October
This
is
fall.
locked and loaded, baby.
With stuff. Just all the stuff. All the stuff is in October. South Park. We forgot to mention South Park in our
Yeah.
Ubisoft discussion.
Absolutely.
Got a release date. October. I believe... No. Anthem is 2018. Something else is coming out this October that we're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
But a bunch of stuff. Basically, October is now the month to be. It's not November anymore.
Yeah.
It's October.
It's October and March are the months now, I guess. But the thing that was weird with Super Mario was at first it was like a dinosaur and everybody was like, Monster Hunter, what? And then it turned into Mario Odyssey and it was like, whoa.
Oh.
Whoa, this is awesome.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
Mario Dinosaur, Mario
there was also
Dinosaur.
like a treehouse gameplay later. So like you as Mario can now like jump into characters and things and it looks dope.
It's like Super Mario, but
It's
Bigger.
It's 64, but bigger, prettier, and like weirder.
yeah.
Which is,
All those are great
when
things.
Nintendo leans into their weirdness, that's mad hype. Also, a Metroid game coming to 3DS. Nobody cares.
Fun. And, if you got a 3DS, more Metroid for you. But we're just waiting for Prime 4.
If you're feeling like dusting off that garbage hardware,
Ouch.
I'm sorry. Like
Shade has been thrown by
That
Chris.
C-stick analog thingy for camera is just horrible.
Probably.
It feels so bad. From the 15 minutes of Xenoblade 1 that I've played with it, I was just like, no, get me out of this. It's bad.
Well, that's what you got the Switch for.
Man, Nintendo's gonna eat my entire bank account now.
Money! So much money to be had, Nintendo. Oh, you did it. You did good. You did good, man.
We did well. And that rounds up E3, at least for now.
Bonus. Devolver Digital.
Yeah,
And their amazing
I forgot.
press conference.
So Devolver Digital did a thing where they parodied press conferences, and
it was pretty great. If you
Boy,
haven't
was it
seen it, you
glorious.
owe it to yourself to go and check
was
that out.
it glorious? They did this whole thing where they had a fake arena with stock footage of a crowd clapping, where they were talking about like how they were gonna
Take your money.
take your money and and they had this amazing thing where they said that now anything can be a game. Like, they introduced a fake system where there was like an automated system that turns user comments into games. So if you don't like something about your game, you can just comment it onto that game, and the system will turn that into a feature that you can then pay for.
Yep.
All this while the moderator is swearing out the wazoo and bleeding out of her nose. It was glorious. It was weird, absolutely weird.
But it's was all the great jokes.
Oh, it's
so many great jokes.
It's amazing. Absolutely love it.
So good job for you, Devolver Digital. Good job for you. That was great.
A little clap for Devolver.
Made my day.
Alrighty, so this show is a little bit different. We're not doing releases. We're not doing a lot of our usual stuff that we've done like once, because this is only the second episode. But because E3 is so needy, we need all the time we can get.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some E3 winners and some E3 favorites. So
E3 winner of the show, honorable mention Devolver Digital. Honorable mention.
Honorable mention Devolver, but it's
like as an actual not for an actual conference, but as just for sheer entertainment value, they need to be recognized.
They brought it for sure.
Winner?
Also, Devolver's pre-show was just like a bunch of 30-year-olds who looked like they were drunk, just being like, we're playing some games, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
It was awesome.
So, if I was to rank these, EA is immediately gone.
Yep, EA is at the bottom.
And
very much at the bottom.
And then it becomes difficult.
I'm going to say Ubisoft.
You're gonna say Ubi had the best one?
Overall,
so let's work ourselves backwards.
I think Ubisoft had the best conference.
Let's work backwards.
Okay.
EA is at the bottom.
EA at the bottom. Bethesda right above them.
Bethesda right above. See, for me it's tough.
I know you like the presentation.
For me, Bethesda and Microsoft were. You're right. The announcements were not get hyped.
The only thing to get hyped for was Wolfenstein 2.
Okay.
And, I give them credit for that. They had something to get hype about. EA really didn't, unless you like Battlefront or sports.
Right. Absolutely. So EA at the bottom, then we'll go with Bethesda.
Yep.
Then we're left with Microsoft, Ubi, Sony, and Nintendo.
Yeah. I'm going to say...
it's tough.
Microsoft. No. I'm going to say Sony.
I would say Microsoft because... So, Microsoft had a lot more cool shit.
Microsoft had a lot
of cool shit. But
and
even though Sony had a bad closer and some weird stuff, they got the 1-2 punch.
They got the 1-2 punch.
And the 1-2 punch was big. And Microsoft didn't have anything that was big. No. Anthem looks like it's going to be big, but it's a new IP, so you never know.
Right.
So that the 1-2 punch for me would go Microsoft and Sony.
I'm going to say Sony than Microsoft.
Okay,
just because I feel like Microsoft lost a little bit because the One X is stupid. And, that was the cornerstone of their whole press conference. But the number and amount of games they showed off. And they're like,
cool, yeah.
This is all stuff that we've made deals with. This is all stuff that we're going to have first. That's huge.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
So then we're left with Ubi and Nintendo.
Uh-huh.
I think
this is hard.
I think Nintendo won it. I think Nintendo won it because, all right, you have more Mario Odyssey, which is great.
Yeah.
Pokemon and Metroid.
Convinced me that it's going to be a good game for Mario Odyssey. Pokemon,
Metroid Prime, and then like even the Yoshi stuff and the Kirby, like
it's interesting. Yeah.
For me, the number one thing at E3 that is awesome are the get hype moments when there's something you didn't expect, like Monster Hunter. And so for me, Nintendo brought it because the last thing you expected for them to bring out Metroid and Pokemon at the same time.
Yeah.
which is also something I did predict.
You did predict it, yes.
Yeah, but that
credit's due.
That episode's unreleased, so I could be lying out my butt.
Are you?
I mean,
oh, you'll never know.
You were there.
Know.
You know.
They don't know.
They don't know. Yeah. So that was we tried a pilot recording before, and I was stuttering too much, so I was like, we'll just redo it. Anyway, that's pulling back the curtain. For me, Nintendo did it. I think Ubisoft got mad hype with some of the things, but I
Beyond
think
Good and Evil
Pokemon,
2.
Mario, Metroid, you can't compete. You know, all
It's
their
so
IP.
hard for me. I almost want to say it's a tie between the two of them. I can't believe I'm saying this about a Ubisoft conference. I
know.
can't believe they brought it, but they did.
But Ubisoft did have a bunch of like talking, and some of it was quite boring. You know,
Some of it was boring, but the games that they showed were
Yeah.
so interesting and so fun.
I'll give them that.
Mario and Rabbids, Beyond Good and Evil 2, which I know I keep harping on about that, but it's worth harping on about.
Right.
Skull and Bones.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I am very, very much behind Ubisoft on everything they showed today. Some of the stuff I need to see more of, but just from concept, from showing off this stuff for the first time,
Right.
I'm excited.
I'll give you that.
But I will...
Both Pokemon and Metroid we've seen nothing of. If they had shown a trailer for one of those,
I think
that would have been the golden ticket.
Yeah, Nintendo would have taken it.
We would have creamed our pants.
We wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
We'd be like, nothing matters. Nintendo,
But
praise the Lord.
But the fact that they did announce those things, I'm gonna agree with you. Nintendo takes it,
Nintendo takes
but
the cake.
just barely edges
Barely.
it out. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I think that's
Two
fair.
very strong press conferences between the two of them, at least as far as this year goes.
Okay.
Nintendo takes it just inches it out the tiniest bit.
I'm excited to see how Sony steps it up next year, though. Because they're definitely going to be like, all
Last
right,
of Us.
we need to...
Last of Us, that's all you need.
Yeah, Last of It out today. What?
Last of Us, it releases in 2
All right.
hours. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Have
All
a
right.
nice E3 for while you're here, while you're waiting for the game to come out.
Absolutely. Well, that's been the show for today. A little
Honestly,
bit of
that'd
a
be
different
hilarious.
show. So that's been E3. You know, I was a little bummed out up until today, but Nintendo brought me back. Nintendo, like, Ubi was great. Microsoft and Sony were disappointing. Bethesda had some cool production value.
Sony
EA
was disappointing.
bleh.
Microsoft was, at the very least, entertaining with the
Yeah.
games.
But
the number of games they showed.
I was a little bit bummed overall. But then today,
Yeah, Nintendo was just like, we got you, man.
boom, boom,
We
boom.
got you.
It was great.
Hey, here's all the mics. You wonder where they were? Boom, 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 boom.
It was a ricochet of mic drops. No, that's not the right use of that word. Never mind, I'm for it.
You're fine.
Alrighty, this has been Button Mashers, a podcast where we talk about video games, video game news, and nerd out, as you've seen.
Kick
us
our feet
do
up,
these hand
shoot the
motions
shit.
and stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Just have a good time talking about games.
I'm Chris.
I'm Connor.
You can find us on Twitter. I am the Vanilla Chris.
And I'm Connor A. Hamme, Hamme.
So that's awesome. You can find our show on SoundCloud, iTunes, hopefully, crossing my fingers, and now on YouTube under the Game of Dorks channel. So if you just if you go to YouTube and type in Game of Dorks, that's where we'll be posting.
Yep.
Every Monday. So get excited for that. This week is Tuesday because E3. We wanted to include Nintendo, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad we did.
Me too.
So yeah, if you like this, subscribe to Game of Dorks or subscribe to us on iTunes. Thank you so much for watching.
Maybe follow us on Twitter if you want.
Yeah, and we will see you next week.
Stay beautiful, folks. Bye.